So today we're actually going to be reviewing my first week of the June Sketchbook Challenge. I'm going to share with you what I've been doing every day for the past 7 days. I've been using the prompt that I published over there on Patreon if you are wanting to do a catch-up or if you wanted to do a sketchbook challenge and you're looking for some prompts. But today I'm going to share with you what I've done for the past 7 days. So as I mentioned to you last time, this is the same book that I used, or the same type of book. It's the Strathmore 5x5, 8x5 sketchbook that I got off of Amazon. I used a few of these books last year for the 90-day challenge that I did, and I finished up last year in this book, just doing my final few pages, but there was plenty of room to do the rest of the work for this challenge in this same sketchbook. I actually started off my challenge by doing like a cover, a spread, just to kind of celebrate the initiation, the beginning of the challenge. And I just did this from my imagination, just to play. I think I was ready to get started when I did this. And then I might have mentioned this last week, I think I did, and I know I shared this on Instagram. I wanted to come up with an intention, so I did this really creative, loose splash of watercolors and put in the intention of discovery and growth. And so my theme for the first 7 days is just random things, really. So I came up with a random list, and I shared the list on Patreon for anybody who wanted to join along. And so the first day, I decided I wanted to give a try at doing clouds. Now, oddly enough, I feel like this shows up on screen and on photographs better than I feel that it actually is in real life. So I had actually just taken some random photos, and some of these were from lives, and then I did videos as well. And I chose from what I had to actually draw. And it's a mixture of watercolor and gouache. So that's what I decided to do. And to be honest with you, I don't do that many clouds. So I thought it was interesting, and I realized this might be something I should practice more, especially since I like doing landscape. Anyways, yeah. So that was the first day, clouds. Okay. The second day, I decided to do trees. And I actually found this somewhere. I think someone might have shared it. I just love the colors.
Markers. Before I used to use a lot of the Tombow and Ecoline, but they're not light fast, and so I've moved to these. But I do have a couple of the Tombow that I'll show you that are some of my favorites. I can't remember again if this is from some of my zoo drawings, but I loved this. Another one, I used a lot of soft pastel in this. Some of my messiest pages, as I've been going through these, I'm like, oh, my hands are so dirty, but I love these pages, and I love how when you put soft pastel over things, how it just creates some atmosphere, pushes things back, kind of just makes a lot of muddiness. And what I'll do, a lot of people ask me about this, I just use pieces of paper to put in between anything that I think would smush over. So even if it's color pencil, when you turn the page, if you start marking, it will mark on the other page, it will transfer. So I always, our bulletins from church.
And then I did a little monocolored wash. It was a pen and ink and wash in like brown tones, sepia tones. I have a collection of brown pens that I used. It was the Micron, a company that makes the Micron pens. So that's what I did with that. But all in all, I was happy with these two. And then the next day was leaves. And this one I was excited about. I liked the photograph. I actually went out last week and went on a short walk. So pretty. See the long-winged butterfly. They love these flower bushes. Look at all the little flowers. The hat pins are blooming. These little yellow flowers are blooming. The peas are blooming. The little yellow button, I forget what these are called. Another button something. They're cute. These little yellow flowers. I love the hat pins. It was so hot. It was really hot. I got a bit overheated, to be honest with you. And there was a cool breeze, but for some reason I got really overheated, and it was exhausting to get out there in that heat. I felt like I was going to have a heat stroke or something. It was so hot. But luckily I had a little bit of water with me, and there was a collection of this muscadine. We have like a wild muscadine vine that grows here in Florida. And so that's what I did. But I kept coming back to it and layering it up because my first initial time doing it, I wasn't happy with it. I kept touching it, and then I was trying to add in the moss, and I still feel like I could do a lot more work on it, but all in all, for the actual theme of the day, or the prompt for the day being leaves, I felt like I met that. So then the next day, the prompt was cup. And I used this cup of mine, which, if you're curious, it's made by Natural Life. It's a pretty big company. You probably could still find this cup. It is super cute. It's like a hippie van with wheels and everything. And in the back, it even says "Be Happy" on the tag. And inside it says "Follow Your Heart." It's kind of got some stains in there because I use it quite often. But it's so cute. And it wasn't an overly formal cup that I thought that it would be too difficult to do. So that's what I decided to do for my cup prompt, which is here. And what I did this time was I actually drew it in pencil, and then I went over it using my Micron pen to just draw it out. And then I used a watercolor and gouache combination on the rest of it. So it looks more illustrated. Whenever you do a broader outline, it looks more illustrated, but I thought it was appropriate for this prompt. And I really enjoyed it. It was lots of fun. See, it's really cute. My cup illustration's darker than the actual cup itself, but I didn't think it mattered. It was just a bit of fun. So then the next day for the prompt, it was tea bag. And I really think it turned out really well. I did an oil painting recently using very few materials and just showing people how you could really scale down and still kind of learn how to do oil painting. And I chose to do a tea bag because it was really simple and you could do a very limited palette. And that turned out really well too, but I actually was pretty happy with my results of that day's challenge.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, touch your hand in mine gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow.
Then the next day, the next prompt was toy. And so this is what I did. So I have a friend who likes to crochet. And so she had gifted me this cute little bumblebee. And he's so adorable that I thought that might be the perfect thing to actually try to do for my toy. And for Valentine's Day, I had gotten some stickers, and I put a little heart on his chest. In Korea, it's really popular to have sweaters and things. Hearts are like popular anyways, but I thought he looked so cute with that little red heart on him. So I thought that that's what I would do. But I actually had drawn him before, although I'm not as happy with my drawing. Mostly it's the wings that bother me about this drawing. But I used the body to do an outline in tracing paper and transferred it into my book. And that was the results I did from that.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss, a love so strong, a bliss. Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow.
So the color's not spot on, but he's pretty cute. Pretty cute little guy. But this is why I want to tell you to be respectful to yourself. Because every day is different. No matter what media you're using, some days you are tired, some days you are off, and you're going to get different results for different days. If I tried this again, it looked completely different the next time I do it. So that's why we never are harsh or unkind to ourselves. Doesn't matter what your results are. You may just barely get in a likeness. You may only want to just barely get in a likeness. Usually it's, especially with something like a pet portrait, it's really more of a way to express yourself, to remember the pet, and honor it. Especially if, God forbid, you lose a pet. Like I lost my pup Sashi a couple years ago now. And, it's very sad when you lose a pet. So this is a great way to honor them. It's just in your attempts to creatively express yourself and your love for an animal that you might have, or something that you're doing for somebody else. But all in all, I feel like it was a great first 7 days. I enjoyed it. Some days better than other. These 2 days were awesome, I felt. I started off a little awkward, I feel, but it's funny how you can begin to get into it. And so there you go. First 7 days. We got all the way till the end of June to see this to fruition. Okay guys, I guess I will wrap up the video right here. I hope that this week's video was helpful and that maybe you're inspired to do your own sketchbook challenge. If you're not, or if you want to join me, as I said at the beginning, I'm over on Patreon as well. Just like here and Instagram, I'm Reese Osborne Studios. If you're just looking for some extra prompts and extra creative resources, that's something else for you to check out. So I will catch you next week. And until then, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed, creative week ahead. All right, bye.